Sips, explain me please, who is the system, the structure in South Africa gymnastic? Like, you enter on the first steps and how you go forward?
Yeah, well, it's quite an easy structure because you from the young age you get like those participating levels where it's fun for everyone. So your basic level would be like gym stars, where you learn like a basic routine.
Recreation.
Yeah, recreation. So you do that, and usually for those you don't always have your nationals, but they're more of your inter-club competitions, just basically showcasing your skills to
In the town or the state?
No, in the club.
Ah,
For
yeah.
the club. So you get your gym clubs competition, invitations, clubs or kings clubs. And then you have your level ones. From level 1 up to level 10. I don't know if they've changed the structure since.
But this is
since
like
last time.
USA, USIG?
I would
or
say-
South Africa?
I would say if you look at the USA structure, it's similar to that.
Okay.
But of course, our routines are different and skill sets and requirements are also different.
I mean, the technical committee makes some changes.
Yeah, they make changes, and yeah, routines sometimes change over time. And then after your level 10, then you get your junior Olympic level, which is your platform to make your own routines. And you need to have, just like senior FIG, you've got 9 skills and 10 is dismount. Yeah. Your 9 skills, number 10 is dismount. And then in junior, I think they had 6. And then I think number 7 is your dismount. And then
For each apparatus.
Yeah, for each app, you get a certain number of groups that you need to tick off, and you can pick how many you can have and how many major skills are gonna contribute to your start value and so on. And yeah, and then you get senior Olympic, which is your international FIG standard. And yeah.
And how is the structure about facilities? You have main national training center in South Africa.
We do have a national training center, which is in Centurion. And yeah, we'd usually have our nationals there. Whenever there's trials, we'd usually go up there and do them.
You travel from Durban to there?
Yeah, travel from Durban to there. Either drive or fly there.
How many hours?
If you're driving, it takes around 7 hours. And a flight is about an hour, yeah. Yeah, it's about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour flight there. But yeah, we usually use the high performance center for like training or any major event, like for trials for Africa Championships or hosting or looking forward to the next big thing, we'd usually go there. But every year they'll change around every time for like nationals. Nationals would be in a performance center, or maybe everyone comes to Durban, or sometimes down to Cape Town. Yeah.
And you must live in other cities, or you work all the time in your town?
No, we'd usually travel. We'd usually travel there, and sometimes we'll travel like a week in advance for the competition. And if we're gonna have a training camp, then that's also extends as well. So yeah, most of the time train in Durban, only travel for competitions. Yeah.
Okay, great. We go with the next question. Experience like a coach. Where's your philosophy of coaching?
Yeah, coaching is that's a fun department.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. For coaching, I can honestly I found it a bit challenging because I mean you deal with different kids every time.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's almost feels like you're dealing with yourself in the process. Because as a coach, you don't just, I cannot teach you a drill the same way as I'll teach someone else. Because personality is different. There is also doubt for kids, especially when they're still young and they're terrified
For
of
the first
anything.
time, they never
Yeah.
tried before.
So it's quite a challenge. And you, as a coach, the one thing I've told myself is I have to be patient because it doesn't help anyone if I'm getting frustrated and the kid is crying because I'm getting frustrated for not getting the results that I need. So I've basically told myself, when be patient, work it nice and slow, and eventually we'll get it right. So that is my take as a coach, is patience. Lots of patience. It might get frustrating at times, but yeah, you gotta have the patience if you're a coach and get results.
And from where you bring this approach?
Basically from observing, because I at some point in my coaching history, yeah, I would get frustrated. Like, how can you not get a swing to handstand? You're literally swinging to handstand. Just stop in handstand, you know? And then I realized that it doesn't make sense for me to be a bit pushy with the kid if they don't feel ready. If they don't feel ready, try something new. Work a different angle. Start over. Always go back to the drawing board. If something is not working, go back, take it a few steps back, start again from the beginning and build up again. Maybe you'll pick up something new, or maybe you use the wrong technique or some sort. So yeah, it's a challenge on its own being a coach, plus understanding the kids, because not all kids can be coached the same. Some kids have a high intensity drive and some kids don't, you know. So you can have the one kid who's dying to learn a double flip, and then you can have the one kid who's like, no, I'm happy doing 4 draws. So you kind of also have to adjust yourself with how you talk and how you deal with them individually. As a group, it's different, and individually, it's also different. It's almost like you develop these personalities that works for this person, and there's another one that works for this one. It's almost like you split yourself into these like 7 characters so that you can be able to work with him. Oh, there's another one. Oh, Johnny. Okay, then you can communicate, and also you want to communicate in a way that you guys understand each other. There is no miscommunication. Yeah.
That mean for you is different, teach one-on-one with groups. What is your favorite? You don't have a favorite.
I mean, definitely one-on-one always works better, and the group also is always good. And the reason why I say the group is good, because if you look at the group classes, there's always that rivalry that happens among the kids. I mean, I went through the same thing.
Mhm.
Like, oh, he can do a flip back tap now. I bet I can also get it. There's
I mean,
always
it's a healthy competition.
it's a healthy competition. It's a challenge, you know.
Teammates. Yeah.
It's fun to see that happen.
Inspire.
It's inspiring, you know. It's fun to see that happen in a class. That is good. And then for one-on-ones, the only downfall about the one-on-ones would be that feeling of competition, like, oh, I want to do better, oh, I want to push a little bit more, I want to do this, you know. And the good parts about the one-on-ones are you get to give them your 200% attention. you can see everything. In a group, sometimes you're not always going to see everyone
Yeah.
because you always set up different stations, everyone is working there and someone's working there. And
Different motivations.
yes, yeah. And with the one-on-one, the good thing about it is the time that you get to spend with that person. You spend the time with that person, you can achieve a lot more. And also you get to learn more about the kid.
More technical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get to learn more other than, yeah, like I said, with the group, the only slight downfall is you're not always going to be able to see everyone. Sometimes you're going to miss the good turn. Like the other day, I had the one kid like, I just did 10 circles. Like, what? I didn't see it. No, because I was helping the other kid with his flares and that. I'm like, okay, well, when you go again, let me know so I can turn around and look, So I always try to be present and try to see everything. But I'm not always going to see everything in a group. But I'll miss some stuff. But I always try to make sure that I'm around and I'm able to see these things. Yeah.
Perfect. Sips, what is your dream like a coach? You have a dream like a coach?
Indeed, I do, actually. My dream would be to, and I know it's a bit of a tough one, but I want to produce not the best, because that's something, but I want to say the best. I want to produce the best version of an all-round gymnast that I can. And not just a perfect all-rounder, but someone who is able to adjust to that environment that they put under. Because a lot of people crack under pressure. I want to be able to have a gymnast that can say, okay, I'm doing this competition. I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it. Because most of the kids nowadays, they go to competitions, like they've been practicing for like months. They know the skills, they know what they have to do, they know the routines. And then they get on podium.
Emotion, yeah.
Poof,
Mind.
they forget the routine. Some of them forget the skills. Some of them change their mind halfway through the routine. So basically, I wanna be able to produce a gymnast who is not just mentally tough, but very adaptable to the situation.
Wow, this is a nice capacity. I never think now how you say that, I'm thinking about COVID. Imagine how the athletes they adapt. The adaptation maybe is one of the more strongest skill of the humans.
Yeah.
The species.
Adapt.
Yeah. Okay, got it. I like it. What is your sorry, I will do this question. Your more sad experience in gymnastics?
Man, the sad experience ever was 2014 African Championships. That is one of many, but this one is by far the top because I have been training for forever to actually showcase my skills. So we did African Championships and I qualified for Pomlos. I think I qualified like third or something. Yeah. And in my routine for Pomlos, I remember I've been training Pomlos forever, and for maybe like the last 2 months, I've always done my routine. I hit my routine without falling, no errors. And on that day, I literally saluted, like, okay, you're nervous, that's fine, it's normal. You've gotten this routine at least 9 out of 10 hits. At least 9 out of 10 every time I go up. The routine starts, finish, clean, done. And then on this very particular day, I remember getting up, like, okay, I've been doing this. I don't know, I think maybe I got a little overly confident with myself. Maybe I got a little bit too cocky for myself that I screwed up. So I saluted, and then the first thing I did, because the first move I had in my routine was a mega Sivado. Saluted, step in, 1, 2. Usually when I do my mega, I'll be like, okay, 1 circle just to get the feel, 2 circle, prepare to travel. Then a third of us are traveling. I remember getting up, 1, 2.
And
I literally fell, and I was like,
what
just happened? And then you hear the judges saying 30 seconds. And I'm like, damn it, okay. I fell, so I've lost the full mark. All right, let's see. Okay, got up, bit of chalk. Whew. Get up. Did my mega, did my Sivado. And then after my Sivado, I'm supposed to do like a 1080 window swings on the end. Just before I started, crashed again. And then like I literally felt my soul leaving my body at that moment. I was like, I literally froze. It's like, what on earth is happening? How is this possible? I've been hitting my routines like for the past months and everything. I've never fallen twice on my routine. It's like, oh God, okay. And then fix my head again, get ready. Fell again. I think, or in total, I think I fell about 4 or 5 times. And I got the lowest score. And I remember one of my best friends in the team, because we were in the team together. He literally sat there and looked at me, and it was like, we literally just looked at each other. I was walking towards him. It was like, I sat down in shock, and my friend was like, "You will pick it up on Abba." It's okay. It was the most bizarre moment, and I was like sat there. I was like, I looked at him. It's like, "You'll pick it up on Abba. It's not over yet." I'm like, what it is?
And you was confused.
I was just confused and surprised, basically everything in one go, because I was like, how did this happen? You know, like I didn't understand it. And then I'm like, okay, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, cool. I remember when I started gymnastics, I was told it's not an easy sport. So if anything ever happened in gymnastics, if it will happen, if something happens, it happens. You know, you're not always gonna have your success hit routines every time. Some days are gonna be perfect, some days are not gonna be perfect. But it's how you cope and deal with the lows at a time rather than the ups as well. The ups are always great. No one overlooked the ups. But the lows, that's the one that people try to avoid. But that's when you look at it and you're like, okay, cool. I messed up my pomelos. Okay, I still have hyper. I messed it up. I need to think ahead now. That's in the past. It's done. There's nothing I can do about it. Move forward. Try to fix it on the next event. Next thing, you've got rings. You've got vaults to still go through. Still got P-bus to go through. Still got hyper to go through. You know? And usually, if you mess up that early in your competition, it's kind of like gives you that, oh my God, what am I going to do now? You kind of like your doubts, your insecurities, everything that you've never really thought would ever happen. When they come in flooding.
All together.
So it's a very
Tough moment.
It's a very tough moment. That's why I said I would really prefer to make an emotional, a mentally tough gymnast. I'm not saying, oh yeah, that happened, forget about it, you know, move on. No, I'm saying if it happens,
be prepared, be ready.
Be prepared. It's
for
gymnastics.
It's happened.
It's gymnastics. Anything might happen. You might be You might be doing a round of backflip. You've done it for 20 years,
Thousand
and you're not gonna get it right one day. A good example. It was the silliest thing I've ever done. I think it was like 3 years ago. I was we're doing like a fun game warm up, gymnastics type with the kids. And I think it was like a Saturday morning or something. So you're doing tag with the kids, and one of them's like, "Oh, I haven't seen you do a back tag, coach." I'm like,
Come on.
what do you mean? A back tag? Not even a double? Come on, get out of here. So I was like, okay, cool. And I remember standing up, setting up for the back tag, and one of the coaches was there. So I like, whoop. And then halfway through my back tag, I'm like, what am I doing?
Without my mom.
And then the next thing, boom, I landed on my head.
No way.
Like, you know when you do a headstand?
Yes.
That was me, like, feet up. And I literally landed on my head, had like a second pose upside down before I fell over.
You feel all your spine one with each other.
Just like that, straight line.
Oh.
And then everyone is laughing. I'm like, what just happened? Did I really just land on my head on a stupid back tuck? No ways. And then the kids were laughing. And I'm like, that is confusing. And even one of my colleagues was like, are you okay? What was that? I was like, I have no idea. I don't know. I've done like millions of backflips. I've done them out with friends. I've done them at the beach. I've
And
done
your
them.
birthday, you make 30, you remember.
Yeah. Like I've done 25 backflips in a row, never landed on my head. And then this one time I landed on my head. It's like, I guess some days are good, some days are not.
They find you a surprise moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't
No,
expect it.
I didn't, because I mean, I've done back tucks for, I don't know, 22 years, 20 years. I still do back tucks every once in a while.
I mean, now you have in your album a new one, a new way how to land.
Yeah.
Nobody will.
And then later I remembered that, oh yeah, I was doing a back tag. And the reason why I didn't finish the back tag, I stopped halfway, because I was thinking about my wallet.
No.
So I was like,
You mix up the
yeah,
thinking.
I have no idea what happened. And I was like, okay, cool. Back tag halfway through, I'm like, my wallet.
No way.
Damn it. That's not gonna be nice. Oh well, next time.
Next time.
So yeah, that's one of the things. Like gymnastics is a very tough, tricky sport that it's fun. It's fun to go through the process. Some processes are grueling and hard and tired. Most of the time you just wanna like, oh God, I'm not getting this. I just want to give up. You know, it's easy to give up than carrying on.
Mm.
That's what I tell the kids. I'm like, gymnastics is not an easy sport. Like, apart from the time and dedication and commitment, if you want to get stuff done, you also still have to work with yourselves, your demons, your lows, your highs, and all of that. You know, I tell them, like, if you look at the clown and the gymnast, we can both do the same thing, but a gymnast can take the hardest thing and make it look so easy. And then you've got a clown, take the easiest thing, makes it look hard. So I always like, what are you guys gonna be today? Gonna be a gymnast or gonna be a clown? Like, oh, I want to be a gymnast. I'm like, okay, cool. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. Sometimes you're gonna feel like punching me, because I'm gonna keep telling you to do this, do this. You're gonna get bored because of the drills, the repetition. You have to keep doing them, keep doing them. And yeah, that is the fortunate fates of gymnastics. It's not an easy sport. It's always tricky. You always want to push and keep going.
And the commitment.
Yeah,
Just
and the
your
commitment. Yeah. And if you come into it hoping to learn everything in one day, I mean, that is a talent and a gift from above. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever met anyone who've come into gymnastics to learn one skill and got it right on that day. I've seen people coming in, learning something. Maybe they'll get it the first time, maybe not the second time, third time. That's the thing. It's all gymnastics, just always repetition, consistency. You just want to keep doing it over and over again until you can do it in your sleep and all of that. Yeah.
And talking about process, you say about this little fall, a special fall in your head. What about the injuries? Because we can honor the Sips on the past. You have some surgeries in your body.
Yeah.
And what about this? About your injuries or the situation? You travel to the competition. You remember you told me about that.
Yeah. Yeah. But basically, that was one of the toughest
Moments.
chapters of my life. That was one of the hardest year that I ever had to endure, even after the 2-year seasons back to back. Like being taken out of your field, out of your zone, because basically to me gymnastics is life, you know.